Warren Buffett has an amazing quote. He says, really successful people say no to almost everything. So if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Don't add a new line of business until the current one can run without you for at least 4 weeks. So stay on your main thing, stay in your lane, stay in your core competency, where you're crushing it. Don't get too distracted on the side until you build that business, until you crush that business, until you own your exit. What's up, everyone? This is Aaron Leatherdale here with Own the Exit. Thanks so much for joining for another episode. This is going to be a solo episode. I just wanted to run through some thoughts with you guys about entrepreneurship, specifically what I call shiny object syndrome, which is basically, as an entrepreneur, you're seeing opportunities everywhere. I already have a successful business, a couple of them, and some divisions that are growing, but yet I'm still looking and seeing I could do that. And the reason that we see opportunities everywhere as entrepreneurs is because opportunities are just problems that need to be solved, and there are problems everywhere. And as an entrepreneur, you see those problems as opportunities. But the question that really matters and that you should ask yourself is this: what problems are actually mine to solve right now? Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the danger of chasing everything. And this is something for myself that I've learned. I'm not perfect at this, but definitely, even especially over the last 2 to 3 years, I've been really trying to tighten up and refine my putting blinders on and saying, all right, these are the businesses that I have right now. This is what I'm doing right now. And to stay focused on that without getting distracted with shiny object syndrome. Here's some of the costs here of overcommitment. You could have 8 or 10 businesses and they're all half built. You could have 8 or 10 ventures that are all in various stages of building, and there are a few people that can do that, and sometimes there's overlap there where it makes sense to do. But sometimes it's better to just have one business that's fully built, where all of your energy and all of your strategy and your thinking goes there to make that business more successful than the sum of all of those half-built ones. Here's a few dangers of chasing everything. Number one is cash drain. This is a statistic. The Small Business Administration has said 82% of small businesses fail because of cash flow. Not because they didn't have future revenue, not because they didn't have customers, not because there was not a demand for their service in the marketplace or their goods that they were offering, not because they didn't have a good team. None of those things. 82% of businesses fail because of cash flow. They do not have the cash flow to carry them through, to bridge that gap until when those big paychecks come or those receivables come in and they go out of business. And starting a new business is expensive. If you've ever started a business, it costs money. There's money, either there's the dollars or there's your time. And if it's your time, then that's dollars too, because you're not putting it somewhere else that could generate dollars. And cash drain. Another is focus drain. So splitting your attention between competing priorities is challenging to keep switching in your mind. And energy drain, right? You burn out, your team burns out. The best ideas never reach their full potential. Warren Buffett has an amazing quote. He says, really successful people say no to almost everything. And so that's where, whether in your time, in your priorities, and in your calendar, look at your calendar, and you should only be saying yes to the things that align with your core mission. So here's a three filter system that I run things through. So here we go. It's a strategic fit. So if you're thinking about taking on a new business or starting something, or you see an opportunity, ask yourself this question: does this new thing make my core business stronger? If it's off the mission, then it's a distraction. It's separate and it's not related, and you shouldn't do it. You should stay on to your core mission. Once you identify what that is, you should stay in your lane. Number 2, reversibility. This is something that Jeff Bezos calls one-way doors. They're hard to reverse, and two-way doors are easy to reverse. Two-way doors are something where it's experimental. You can try something. You can see there's a low barrier to entry, where maybe you can see and try to prove out the viability of doing that new thing. A one-way door is once you go through, you can't go back. And that could be a giant financial investment. It could be a huge time commitment, like a 1-year chunk. It could be where you have to move somewhere. It could be something where once you go through that door, it's difficult to get back. And so those ones, you need to have proof before you say yes. And then a resources check. Do you have the cash? Do you have the time? Do you have the people to do that new thing without robbing from what's already working? Because if you're going to do that, you should just keep those people on the thing that's working. There's another filter that I use too. It's 3 filters. It's the impact versus effort. So how big is the win going to be if I exert the effort to do this? If I have to exert a tremendous amount of energy and it makes a little bit of return, if all goes well, it's probably not worth doing. It's probably better to exert that tremendous energy on the main thing. Circle of competence. If this is your lane, if this is something that is within your competency set or your teams, and if not, how long will it take to learn? Because that's going to take time away from your main thing. And then there's something called the hell yes test. So if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. So if you're indecisive or you're unsure, you're weighing it up, it's probably just a no. You should just stay on the thing that you're on. So those are 2, there's actually 6 filters there, but it's 2 3-part filter systems that you can run new ideas, new opportunities through, and we'll put those in the show notes. Okay, here's the golden rule. Don't add a new line of business until the current one can run without you for at least 4 weeks. If your main current business still needs diaper changes, so I call it, when you start a business, it's like a baby, right? It's a baby, you're the parent, you're working 24/7, you're always on call for the baby, waking up in the middle of the night, crying, pooping his diaper, all this stuff, needs a bottle, needs to be fed, needs to be cared for. If you have daily founder involvement in your main thing, where you got to change your main thing's diapers all the time, you're probably not ready to have another baby. Think like an investor in your own company. Don't diversify too early. Charlie Munger, famous, phenomenal, multi-decade investor, he says the big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting. And for me, I think that's hard for entrepreneurs because we want to take action, right? We want to do something. We want to make something happen. We want to buy something or sell something or create this opportunity or seize the day, right? But sometimes the most money is made in waiting and in staying with where you are and staying on your main thing. So those are just some thoughts I have. I got those 2 filters you could run through, got a couple of quotes, food for thought for you guys. Like I said, this is something for me where I've been getting smarter and I've been checking myself and I've been running it through these filters and I've been going, yes, I could do that thing or I could solve that problem, or maybe not. Maybe I tried to and fail and then I've lost a lot of resources because as entrepreneurs, we start businesses that fail. Most businesses fail, that statistically. But running through these filters and saying, hey, I got to be smart with my time, my limited resources, my limited team's resources, my limited money, and I've got to stay on the thing that is going to produce the most results and the thing that's already working for me. A couple just closing thoughts. I encourage you guys to audit what you're doing. If you're looking at an opportunity or something, just run it through this filter and just see, is this a yes? Is this a no? Or is this a not now? Because that could be something in the future, but it's just not the time to do that. James Clear, Atomic Habits, phenomenal book. I highly recommend it. It's about making little incremental changes in life, little incremental habits. He has this quote. He says, focus is the art of knowing what to ignore. So thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Own the Exit. I hope this helps you guys, encourages you, food for thought in your entrepreneurial journey. I encourage you guys to stay on your main thing, stay in your lane, stay in your core competency, where you're crushing it. Don't get too distracted on the side. Those opportunities will always be there. But stay on the main thing until you build that business, until you crush that business, until you own your exit. Have a great day.